And then you can, yeah? Yeah, like this? Yeah. And then like you're gonna ask me questions about the situation or what?
Well, it's more you. So what more you to give? Remember you're saying that the reasoning why you went to see Bob, and then.
Okay.
Bro, keep it short, yeah?
Yeah.
Because I just got 28% left.
Okay. Okay.
You hold this in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do that like that, yeah?
Okay.
Alright, you can go.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, sisters, brothers and sisters. We're going to talk about a situation that occurred a couple of weeks ago, and some corrections on my behavior also, and tips when talking to Christians or people who may not be of the same persuasion. Shoot your questions ahead.
Yeah, so with I know when I was watching the video, the thing that you were trying to say, the main thing you kept saying to Bob is like, who was he?
Yeah.
Because it seemed as if you were thinking that he was there more as not that he's there to do evangelism, but more as a provocateur maybe?
Yeah. The question I was posing to Bob, it was not about me trying to belittle him, nor was it to figure out his home address. Or anything like that. It was more like a spiritual question. I was like, who are you? Do you believe in the stuff that you spread out? It's very, what I believe was dangerous, the terrains that he's moving towards. So that's what the question was all about, really.
Right. So when you went there, did you really feel that you could get like a normal conversation with him?
Because I had previous conversations with him which were cordial and were civilized. But then there was like one moment, a particular situation I had with him, and which obviously is resolved now. We talked about already. But at that time, I felt really hurt by the way he was displaying himself, and like also the way he was treating me. I felt it was strong. I felt it was not done in order to establish truth.
Right. Well, when you're saying the way he was treating you, can you give any specifics about that?
I mean, again, this is not to criticize who he is, but this is how I felt.
Yeah.
He was, he called me a liar. We were talking about history, where there's interpretation in history.
Yeah, because actually I was just wanting to go through each of them. So when he said, because one thing that whenever I'm speaking to anyone, like a Muslim or Christian or whoever, if I'm ever going to say someone's lying, I always take it as a very serious thing. So I'll make sure that I have my information there first before I say they're lying.
I can give you the example. So he said he called me a liar because I said that the Janissaries, we were a special class amongst the Ottomans, that the Janissary project was not necessarily a project that was propagating slavery, but it was a bit more nuanced than that. There was people and families in the Balkan area who weren't too fond of Ottomans coming to their house and taking kids as soldiers and educating them.
Yeah, they take the little girls as well, isn't it?
The Janissary was particularly focused on boys.
Oh, the boy.
However, for some people, it was a form of social mobility, and that's all I was saying to him. And he said, and there was even someone in the audience who was like, "Yeah, he's right. Like, it's not true what you're saying, Bob." And then he calls me a liar in front of everyone, and then he was getting frustrated about it. And I said, "Why are you calling me a liar? This is just an interpretation of history. This you don't have to agree with, but like calling me a liar, that's an attack on my character, and I've never treated you in that way before."
Yeah. So when he said to you you're a liar, did he then give a reason?
No.
Yes.
He said to me, "You're a liar because the Janissaries were slaves." and that the Ottomans were engaged in systematic slavery because of it.
And he didn't bring a reference to show what he said.
I can't remember anything. No.
Yeah, because he sees it. That's the thing. Because I remember this. It's only a few times I've said to someone that they're lying, and whenever I've done that, I will then give them the reason and then read it out. Because I make sure that I've actually got a text reference relating to why.
He didn't produce any evidence in that time. It was, and granted, it was very heated. The conversation was quite heated. There was a lot of eyes on us. But that's what I'm trying to say is that we're here week in, week out, and I try to have a good relationship with people up there. As much as I can. We had loads of conversations previously. And I think it's vital that when you have conversations here and you want to establish some form of like understanding of the world, that there is like an effort on both sides, that both sides are being respected when that happens. I've seen way too many times when people misbehave, and this is Muslims and non-Muslims, and I'm not fond of that, you know. And yes, I'm a human being, and I will fall short, you know. I will be angry with certain things, and I'll lose myself sometimes. But I try not to, you know. I try to maintain my cool when I talk to people about Islam, and I think that's very important.
Yeah, I was going to say that the thing about it though is that with Bob being the Christian, he's actually the one who should have been calming the conversation down. That should have been his job. So the fact when he's not doing that I'm just saying that is a problem. But
are you Christian? You're Christian. You identify as Christian, right?
Because the thing about it, the term Christian means it's just a Greek term for. Actually, I think it's either Greek or Latin, one of them. But it's for followers of Christ. And since I definitely do follow Christ, that's what I am.
And I appreciate that as a someone who identifies as a Christian, that you came to ask me about it, and you said, hey, why don't you do a video about this and tell your side of the story? Because I read the comments once or twice, and I saw the same thing. They're like, they're like, why is he asking for his address? I was not asking for your address. I was not trying to dox him. I was trying to figure out, Bob, like the things that you say and everything that you stand behind. Who are you? Do you believe in this? Because to me, I don't know. Sometimes you can get lost in a source, and you can get lost in this performative act of being in the park, and I'm not questioning his intentions or anything, but I'm just saying that when there's an audience, these things can happen when you lose some parts of who you are as a person, you know. Like I wish I had handled it slightly different, but I think I was a bit agitated, but by the language that he was using just before that, because he was talking about crusade history and about Christian what's it called, muscular Christianity and things like that. And I'm not saying that Christian let's forget the labels. I don't want anyone to be meek. I don't want anyone to be run over. I don't want people to be bullies and bullying other people. I don't want people to be taking the bullying, right? However, I think we live in very, very fragmented times, and we live very dangerous times where there's constantly someone trying to do something crazy to people because of who they are or where they come from. You know, in his comment section, I saw some crazy things, like someone saying like I'm ready to be martyred, or someone saying stuff like these immigrants, and like stuff like that. So that has absolutely nothing to do with like religion or spirituality. And Bob may or may not be aware of this, but he shouldn't be staring this fire, because a lot of bad can happen from this.
But I was going to say though, you know, you use the word martyr. That is one of the most misused words, the Greek words, like ever, as far as I can see. Because when you look in the Bible, there's a part where Jesus says about a certain person who's one of his followers, and he says, "My faithful martyr." And when you look up the word, what martyr means, it means witness.
Wow.
So
I didn't know that.
See, this is the thing. So this is the way the word has been so distorted. And the big problem is that it's the Christians themselves who are doing most of the distortion. And so martyr means witness. So when you read what Jesus is saying, he's talking about this person being a witness of him. Because this person hadn't died yet. So martyr isn't to do with dying, it's actually to do with witnessing. So you're a martyr when you're alive, not when you die.
Interesting, because I think martyr, the way we understand it, and I wouldn't say that's exactly a one-to-one translation to the Arabic word of shaheed. But shaheed means, oh my God. Shaheed also means witness.
Right. Oh, and that's what they use. Right. Okay.
Yeah, it also means witness.
Right.
It's interesting that there's a cross relation between the two. And the witness here, a shaheed is someone who and you're right, it's not necessarily to do with dying.
No.
You could be a martyr whilst you're in the bed. You could be a martyr dying in your dying bed. So we describe martyrdom is, in Islam is described quite broadly. So a martyr is someone also who, for example, if he was to die in a fire.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or someone who drowns.
Like earthquake, I think it mentioned.
Earthquake,
yeah.
Right? So it's quite broad, but like, but death and being killed, it's not necessarily always the component. Because when you think of martyr, you think of battles and you think of sacrifice. But it's quite interesting that the words are very similar. I would just say this, look, I'm here, people know me, I've been coming here for a while. It's not an act, the way I behave and the way I try to present myself. I have weaknesses, and that was a learning lesson for me when I talked to Bob, to remain calm. And if I disagree with someone or if I feel hurt about something, and I've learned this lesson this week as well, on a professional level, and clearly there's something that I have to work on. That I do have outbursts sometimes, but predominantly I'm a very calm person. But I just think, it's just like when there's injustice, that really irks me sometimes.
Yeah, because what I was going to say is that the people who like see some of my videos on my channel, they know that from what I like sometimes I've gone onto Soko's channel and I've written, every time I see someone like praising either Hatun or Bob, I'll write a comment under it and I literally go down the comment doing that. And the thing about it is that the reason why I do that is because they, as far as I'm concerned, and I've seen other people say this as well, both Hatun and Bob, they actually misrepresent the Christian faith. And it's just because Bob's like famous and he gets and here's another thing is that you notice that when he talks, usually when he talks loud, is that it's the crowd. Because here's something, I don't know if you know about this, but this is what I know a lot of Christians believe, because I've heard some of them say, is that they believe that if they are somewhere where it's crowded and they shout, if they have a load of people around them and they feel that if people hear the sound of their voice, they'll get convicted. But the problem is that they believe in that part, but they don't believe in the part where you have to say things which can like resonate with someone who's like more, of a sensible person. They ignore that part, but they think that this is a big mistake I find with a lot of Christians, is that they think the Holy Spirit will convict someone regardless of what the person, as long as they're just shouting something, the Holy Spirit will just randomly convict a person. They don't think that there has to be like a connection between the person speaking and the person who's listening.
And this is maybe for our Christian brothers. There's literally a verse in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encourages us and says, and this is for the Muslims, for a lot of the Muslims, when you speak to the people of the books, find common grounds. And if you can't, then speak in a way that is befitting. And if you disagree, then you disagree. But do it in a civilized way. That's why I was trying to say that there. I was like, look, I want to have a discussion with you because you were so hell-bent on having a debate. I was like, I had debates with you. Not debates, but we had discussions. There was a back and forth. And some people would call it a debate. And it didn't work because I felt disrespected. And when there's disrespect, then how can I have a debate? And it's not about establishing anything. So I was like, I don't want to have a debate. I want to have a discussion with you about who you are as a person. Because to me, it seems as if you are portraying something here that I do not know if it's really the real Bob. Because when I talk to him off camera, and he's talked to me off camera, it seems slightly different. The dynamics change slightly different. Like, and I was interested, and I was like, and I said to him, I was like, you see the way you talk right now to me, if you had the intention of turning around people, like this would work way more than the rating and the talking down on people. But again, no one is perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to like dig at him. We solved that issue already. But this was just sort of like my comeback to explain to the people really what happened that day and how I felt. And I wish that I have taken a different approach. And next time when the opportunity arises where someone might be a bit provocative, I walk away, or I try to handle it slightly different.
Because I think the best thing, what I found with Bob is, Well, one thing I found is that with some people, it's like Bob knows that, he knows that some people get agitated. It's as if what he's trying to do, he's trying to show how bad Islam is. So he actually likes it when Muslims respond in a negative way.
Correct.
But the thing about it is that this is, from what I can see, this is how he does it. And then Hatun, but I don't know if you noticed, she has, ever since she's gone super big, she hasn't come down anymore. So it's almost as if that once she got the big fame and all that, she doesn't feel like coming out in the cold like us.
To be honest, and Bob that day was asking me about Hatun. I have a life to live, so I don't keep up with what Hatun does. She's just absolutely no interest to me. I had a situation with her where I was trying to actually help her. She rejected that help and didn't see that I didn't mean any harm to her. And from that point, I was like, you know what? I'm not dealing with that. I can't trust her. And she's out there for other motives. There's no interest in me. Bob, I've been trying to have at least I have like trust me, a lot of people tell me, don't talk to Bob, don't trust him. It's not that I trusted him on anything, because I don't know him. But it was like, look, personally, he's never done anything wrong to me. And if there's a line of communication between Christians and Muslims, I will try to uphold that until I have a reason not to do so. And and I don't think I will have any debates with him any longer. If I see him, that's fine. I will let him do his thing. But I think it's for me to not engage him. I can engage with you. I think it's very nice talking to you. And I've got loads of my Christian brethren here who I believe want the best. And I hope that these videos can get more attention.
Yeah, because actually I was going to...
We've got 2 minutes.
I suppose we were just going to end it with that. Is that this is one thing I did want to say to some Muslims, is that we've got other people here, like we've got the Catholic preacher, and then Daniel comes sometimes, he stands over there, and then you've got the other brothers with Dr Banda as well. And I notice the more senior Muslims don't seem to talk to them much, but these guys are like proper, they have knowledge. So I think Muslims, the more senior Muslims who have been here long, they should talk to them more.
Okay. That's good. I think that's a good call, and maybe they should. Because I think the conversation could be way more fruitful.
Definitely.
But hey, I do appreciate you. Thank you very much, and thank you for giving me this opportunity.
That's right. All right. Okay.
Israelites will return to take down Islam.